What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. All right. So today, I busted out laughing when I heard this comment. Supposedly, it was a truth from Donald Trump, but he said something to the effect of, "Didn't you like feel the warmth that him and Putin had when he was just clapping for him on the runway?" I said, "No, we felt straight bitch at that point. We didn't feel no warmth. We felt like our president was whack, just plain whack. We felt she was being weak, not a leader, a sycophant. We thought you were a fan, almost fanatic even. We thought that you lost your way. We thought that the stupid came out, even though it's always about laundry. I mean, just hanging over you like dirt from Pigpen. I mean, we felt all that. We didn't feel like a leader. Not at all. Not at all. We felt like a country that has lost its way. Why? Because we had Sir Dipshit as the president out there acting like a little fan, like a teenage girl, clapping for some dude that's half his size and can barely walk, look like a gnome and shit. That dude. Yeah. You were wimpy to the dude that walk all like he fucking the shortest penguin in the world. But that's what we saw. I don't know how he saw warmth. Warmth. How you see warmth, bro? This fool, Donald Trump, literally said it was warm to see that. It was like a warmth that they had with him. And that's why this fool went on to talk to Macron and say the shit off camera. I mean, he didn't know he was mic'd up, I guess, but to tell him that I think he wants to make a deal for me. Like he's going to help his girlfriend out. He's going to do me a favor. I thought you were supposed to be the man in this relationship. You waiting for him to do you favors? How about you man up and tell him, you either make this deal, bruh, or we just going to mess up everything you got going on in your country. Short of dropping bombs on each other, I'm going to drop these financial bombs and your ass going to wish you said yes to me. How about some strength there instead of this giddy shit? How about that? I mean, it's crazy how we're supposed to be the strongest country, yet do some of the weakest shit. I don't know about anybody else either. And this is just my observations, okay? I have never understood how MAGA and Republicans could be so anti-gay and anti-trans when they got a gay president. Yeah, I said it. I don't know any man straight that literally says he gets love letters from another man. I've been saying this for years. Donald Trump has got gay language written all over him. The hell is that? I have never heard in my lifetime. And you got to understand something. I've seen, a lot in my life. I grew up in a town where it was a horrible thing back then, where people did all kind of crazy shit, was so anti everything, anti-black, anti-gay, all that. I grew up in an era where the young man with AIDS was like running all over the place. And I remember Ryan White, a young kid, died from getting a blood transfusion. Back then, these derogatory terms toward people who were gay or had diseases and like AIDS, and I was like, it was just insane, right? But the thing is, they were coming from people that were Donald Trump's age. Okay? So Donald Trump's era is hateful toward them, right? Doesn't like that language. Even today, the people his age, most of, I ain't gonna say all of them, some of them came around, but that's where it lingers from. People his age carrying all that hate and anger and passing it on to their little bastard ass kids. That's where it comes from. And it continues to linger. So tell me, a man who grew up in an era where they called these people out literally says he gets love letters from a dude. And MAGA is like still strong on the hate toward gay people. Remember that one black gay guy? It was on all over the media. Black gay guy who's Republican went to like a Republican event. And there's like, why would a gay person want to be Republican? They kicked him out of the event that he was invited to. Yeah. And he's one of the black dudes he's super coon. Threw a cape on and shit around his eyes that can look like a coon. That dude. That guy, I forgot his name. I really don't care about his name. I wish I could get him out of my mind. But the reality is, all those things where they disrespect gay people and Donald Trump speaks gayer than gay. love letters. When is a straight dude ever said his homie wrote him a love letter? When do you talk about your homie talking about, when we talk, we warm. It's a warm relationship. Didn't you see the warmth that came off of us? What the fuck are you talking about? No man speaks like this. No straight man speaks like that. Let me correct that. No straight man speaks like this. I could get in touch with my feminine side, but my feminine side doesn't break me down to say, hey, you know, the warmth, no, it ain't happening. And I ain't got nothing against gay, bi, trans. I love them all. Every human being, love them all. But come out and be truthful. I love facts. Okay? If you're going to be hateful toward a race or a culture or a creed, and then all of a sudden go hang out with them, I'm like, yo, wait a minute. Something's not right here. Why are you saying something that you're not living? I have no problem with people who got hate. Just stay over there. I ain't got to deal with you. I'm fine. I know who you are. I'm good. That way I don't have to be bothered with you. I don't have to buy nothing from you. I don't have to support you in no way. I love it. But if you're going to talk shit about trans and gay and all these other people, black and all this shit like that, I'm sorry. Stop talking like them. Stop trying to share their vernacular. Stop acting like you really in touch with some shit, not unless you really are. So if you are, come out the closet and let people embrace you as you are instead of speaking hate on people while you doing the same thing as those people you hating on. I'm just saying, I ain't never heard a man in my life that was straight talk about having love letters and feeling warm from another dude. And they just ignore it. Oh, he didn't say that. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He said shit hella gay. He did. He still talked gay towards Putin. So I'm wondering why he always want to be alone with him. I'm just saying. You want to be alone with a dude that you talk about affectionately like a woman. I don't have any facts, but I'm telling you, I got gaydar, and I got big time. I can tell it around me, 100%. Donald Trump got those signs that go off, and ain't nothing wrong with it. But come out the closet, bro, or stop talking about gay, trans people the way you talk about them. You make them seem like they're the ones attacking your children in restaurants and bathrooms and shit when you're a pedophile, or what you want to call it, allegedly. A girl actually took you to court for it but dropped it, so she did charge you with it. Yeah. That part I'm a bit sick of. If you're gay, that's fine. So stop talking about trans and gay and people like shit and like something's wrong with them, like they're deviant. They're not. They're just human beings that love the same way everybody else does. Just happen to be whomever they love. And it ain't none of our fucking business. But with that dude, he gets on my fucking nerves. That simp that we call the president out here trying to act like he the manliest of men. Not at all. He is straight punk. 100%. And I don't understand how all these people act like this dude is strong. These MAGA people. Do you know how weak you got to be to look up to a punk? Do you really understand how weak you are to look up to that? Somebody that you could literally just punch in the throat. He'll cry and call on his mommy. That dude is who you look up to. He got a little person president. I mean, this dude is about the size of a fucking thimble and he's kissing his ass. Did you see him walking right beside him? He come to his knees. He up here, fawning over the dude that comes to my knees. It is sickening to watch. That's supposed to be somebody who's supposed to show strength. And he's over here talking about, I think he wants to do something for me, and I'm going to help you because he wants to help me. The fuck is that shit? He said that to a leader of another country. And the thing that gets me the most about that shit too is that when he said it to Macron, you know what Macron was thinking? You know he was. This is one simp ass bitch. I can't believe he hurt. Now, for us to get what we want, we're going to have to treat them. We have to treat Trump the same way these other fools treat him. We got to figure out his fucking love language. So they got to swallow their freaking pride to try to end and save lives. Because when they get home, oh, they talking mad shit about him. Did you recognize that? Hell of this. Da, da, da. They going off on him. When they come here to get shit done the diplomatic way, oh, you're doing such a great job, Donald Trump. Just love how you're doing it. Just think the complete opposite. You're a complete dipshit, Donald Trump. Your mother probably she didn't even ask them to take you out, just dropped you on the floor. Just drug you around by the umbilical cord. It's like you was useless from birth. Might as well walk around and be attached to him. Or either that, she wanted you cut off immediately and take him over there and never bring that little dipshit close to me. I don't want him near me. I can tell he's stupid from birth. That part. But these people are making fun of us as a country that we got Sir Dipshit Needy Pants as our president. That he could be easily manipulated by one man that's the size of a fucking thimble. You see how touchy-feely he was? What the fuck was that? I mean, and you would have had, if Obama had touched his hand one time on Putin. What was that affection? What was that all about? Such a weak president. He didn't show any strength. And this dude over here doing everything but giving him a blowjob in front of us. And they're like, oh, well, he shows some strength. Except for the one lady that was on Fox. She's like, well, it seems like he got rolled over. He got steamrolled. And then the Guttenberg, whatever the fuck his name was, the dude that was on there, he was trying his best to anchor in house while he was in the studio. He was trying his best. Well, maybe, it was just a good decision to make. But she's like, oh, it could be. But she said, but I really can't understand how he got nothing out of this inside the studio of Fox, still trying to kiss Donald Trump's butt. I don't get it. I'll never get it. I'm not going to try and wrap my mind around it because my brain might break. I don't want to go there. I'd rather make fun of him because trying to make seriousness or nice out of that shit is batshit crazy. You come to me with some sense and you got a total opposite view of mine, but you got facts, I'm good. But you come to me with this nonsense. This man was the weakest person on the planet. Weakest president we ever had. Absolutely weakest weak sauce. Weak sauce. Gutfield, thank you, Rude. He was up there trying his best. I think it was Gutfield. It might have been that other guy too. Both of them on Fox. One of them is that wasn't Gutfield, I don't think it was. I gotta look up Gutfield. But because I know Gutfield is the one that made me sick, the fact that I realized that him and well, I don't know how close of friends they were, but they used to hang out. I think I'm gonna see Gutfield. No, it's not him. It was the other sycophant that's like on the news show where it's the dopey black dude, and it's always a blonde woman in the middle, and then it's Sir Dipshit Donald Trump nutsucker on the next to that person. I forgot his name in the morning news. That dude. But Gutfield, he had a story. I think he was on. I want to say he was on one of the late night shows or some shit, and he was talking about him and Gavin Newsom were friends. I was like, oh well, Gavin. That alone right there told me you had poor judgment. But then he went on to tell the story, and it still kind of made me feel like he had poor judgment to be around this dude. But Gavin Newsom have been, in the last, month, he been lighting Trump's ass up. I love his little parody of Trump. He pretends to be, his tweets, whatever, is the exact same thing as Trump, but it places himself in it. And now he putting pictures of himself like it's strong, and I was like that. But he's younger. He looks more handsome than Trump. Trump looked like a fucking gnome. He looks like a good-looking man, right? So he's sitting there. Right? You juxtapose those two together. Oh my God! And then the one where he has the wrestler just died, Hulk Hogan with a halo looking over him, and they all like giving him a blessing. That boy, top notch. Top notch. Steve Ducey. Thank you, Dennis. Steve Ducey. No, Steve Ducey is a blonde. I'm getting here all confused. Steve Ducey is that blonde haired dude that's always in the whatever. Let me look at Fox News real quick. Give myself so I won't have you guys all in the wrong, and me in the wrong area here. Fox News images. Nah. Oops, I don't want the video. Is it Steve Ducey? Yeah, it might be Steve Ducey. You might be right. Steve Ducey. Nope, Steve Ducey's the blonde dude. We're talking about the other dark haired dude. He's a little gnome too, a little short, Napoleon complex shit. Um, we'll get it here in a second as I get derailed, but that's okay. That's gut feel. Can't stand his ass. He's on Fox and Friends. It's I'm trying to get their names. It's not Neil. Anyway, I'll keep looking for it. You guys will probably get it before me. But yeah, that dude. I don't like Jesse Waters whatsoever. He's a dipshit. But the other guy, I've been trying to get his name for the longest. See if they have this. Give me a second. Mm-mm. Fox is even tripping. He's on Fox and Friends. There's only three of them. Jesse Walters, the adulterer. Yeah. Mastermind vibes. I'm telling you, the way Putin was smiling in that beast, he like Trump just got suckered. Because again, if you're my age or even more seasoned, or even close to my age, I'm 54. You know that giving a leader that's a tyrant or a criminal or whatever, giving them the pleasure of being in anything, like not even coming to the White House, right, or even coming to step on American soil, is something about giving a persona of they have that country on their side, even if we're not. The appearance is what it's all about. And so for him to even get on American soil was already a huge given. I mean, a huge gift, rather. Huge gift. And then for him to get into a vehicle called the Beast that nobody gets in unless they're like allies. I think the only person who's been in that has been like an ally. And I think one time it was a President Obama, I believe, had somebody in there as an ally. But that was rare, even though it's happened before Obama, but it was rare. That right there, leaders who are allies have had an opportunity. There has never been in the history of presidency in this country a person who is considered a war criminal that has gotten into the Beast, has gotten into the White House. Only with Donald Trump. He gets up close to these people, and there's nothing, and I mean nothing. There's no reason for it. No reason for it. It's just sad. But I saw that. But anyway, let's get back to this. So Donald Trump says this warm. He didn't say the fuzzy part, but I get it. This warmth came off of him and Putin when they got together. And so he believes that Putin wants to do something for him. He's doing him favors. Woo. Anyway, for that to happen, I say this: the warmth, and I posted something earlier today that I had created um, about Donald Trump, because Donald Trump, just like Brian Kilmeade, thank you, Dennis Petro. Brian Kilmeade, that's him. That's him. Took me a while. Took you a while. You got it easy. It took me a while to try and figure it out. I have his picture. I couldn't pick up his name for shit. You were fast though. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate it. That dipshit was trying his best to change it around when the girl in the green dress was saying Donald Trump just appeared to get steamrolled. He's like, well, he could have been doing. Shut up. This man does not know how to play chess. Okay, don't get it twisted. Donald Trump don't know how to do nothing but beg and bribe people. That's all the deals are. Bribe and bribe people and get paid, and then be like, see, I had a great deal. What deal was that? You found you know that you went to the Jeffrey Epstein conventions of of prostitutes and children, and you watched people who had money fuck with little kids, And then you went to them and said, yo, I saw you messing with that 12-year-old. You know I need a loan for 600 million. Yeah, I need an investment for another casino. I'm gonna do it right for you. Really? But I could tell people about the 12-year-old. Oh. Where do you want that money? Where you want it wired to? That's how this fool negotiated. Like he's a negotiator. No, he's more like a briber. You can see it in everything he does. I'm gonna put tariffs on you if you don't come up with something. Oh, I'm gonna sue you if you don't give me 400 million. I'm gonna sue you if I. That's his way of doing things. That's Donald Trump's way of getting rich, getting people in compromising positions, and then holding their secrets of those compromising positions for a fee. That's exactly, and go look it up. Don't take my word for it. That's exactly how Epstein was making his money. Bribery. These billionaires, that's how he was rich, because they were doing compromised things at his spot or wherever they rented out. He recorded it, had the shit, and had them all up for ransom. If you want this, but I ain't gonna tell nobody. I hold your secret. Go look it up. There's nothing this man did that was of job nature, of actually working. That's why they called him an enigma. And that's why Donald Trump said that they both were enigmas, because they both were trafficking in secrets, trafficking in doing bad things to people and holding secrets, and only doing those bad things pretty much on their property. Now, I think Donald Trump may have done something over there in Russia, because the way Putin has got him on a string, okay? The way Putin has got him on a string, he's got something on Trump, because Trump don't act bitch like this with everybody else. He's always fucking everybody else over. But this dude, he got a certain warmth. Like this dude loves him or something, that I can never say anything bad about him. Notice how Trump ain't said nothing bad about this dude ever. He said bad shit about Zelensky. Tried to blame him for the war, but it didn't stick. See, everybody around the world knew that it wasn't Zelensky's fault. But he tried to get the world to kind of play his little, trickery game. Let me just keep saying it and see if they like it. And he kept saying it and nobody took it. So then all of a sudden he had to make nice, because the way he was trying to change the world's perspective on reality, he couldn't do no more. None whatsoever. So he kept trying and trying and trying, and it didn't work. So he had to move on to kind of make nice with him. And that's when everything became the way it became. Right? Exactly. So that's what we have to deal with. And I don't know if you guys are having any kind of problem. I hear some noise or something coming from the camera, but it's okay. I'll take a drink of water just in case it has some kind of problem. You can still hear me. But that's what the whole thing is. Secrets. 100% secrets. And for Donald Trump to act like a little, every time this dude comes around acting giddy like a little, school-age kid, yeah, something's up with that. It's just not happenstance. Something's going on with that. Nobody acts like that unless you're in a relationship somehow. And that's at the beginning of a relationship. You act all stupid and do all kind of crazy things because you're so enamored by that person. Donald Trump acts like that when he gets around Putin. He gets around the leader of North Korea. He gets around the leader of, I think it's either Hungary or whatever, Audubon, whatever his name is, that guy. He gets around him. He acts all giddy. He likes men of power, which sounds to me like he likes to be dominated, because it sounds like he likes powerful men. And it's because he's not one. He would love to be one. And because they know he's like the weaker one, all they do is hang around him and try and educate him on how to do what they did. But when you are a student of somebody else, then you're always the weak one. You never rise above that. So they're his little dictatorship senseis, right? And therefore, they always have one up on him. That's why America looks like simps, because we got the master simp as the president, the child president in education and in emotion. Everything. This dude is a child, always needing affection, like his mother didn't give him the teat. Need to go up and suck up on that decrepit dead teat right now and become a man finally, but that shit ain't gonna happen. He gonna go to his grave an old ass baby. As you see, the puppet in him. That's exactly in that photo. That's exactly how the world sees Donald Trump. Exactly how sane Americans see Donald Trump. It is what Hillary Clinton said many years ago, 2015, 16. Putin's puppet. How spot on was she? She said that MAGAs were deplorable. How spot on was she? I'm going to say this because I truly believe it from my heart. Men, y'all don't need to be presidents for a while. 2 women have shown you guys that you can't see the forest for the trees. Hillary Clinton saw who Trump was. 100%. Had you listened, we would never be where we are today. We'd probably be making so much money and have a great country, but no. Always so many steps forward, and dipshits take us backwards. Donald Trump took us backwards. You got Biden, who surrounded himself with brilliant women, and we started going forward. Then we was going to get those brilliant women to be our leaders. We would have went astronomically further. But nope, testosterone and dipshit people decided, oh, a woman can't do this, shut the fuck up. A woman produced you. Why don't you fucking produce a human and see how great you fucking are? You can't, can you? All you do is bust something and that's it. And sit around and wait for everything to happen while she do all the fucking work. So don't give me this, I'm strong because you got a fucking slong. That ain't got shit to do with nothing. You weak as fuck. A woman go through more pain than you go through in your entire life. It's about time a woman led this damn country. Maybe we'd be in better situations. We'd make better damn decisions. I know that much. In your household right now, if you are married, you know damn well your wife is the smartest one in your fucking relationship. Smartest, efficient, effective, juggle 15 jobs and don't drop one ball. Be planning months in ahead while your ass sitting here trying to think about what you got to do tomorrow. Don't get it twisted. But that's the puppet, and Putin's the puppet master. This fool told Donald Trump, according to Donald Trump, I can't believe what he says, but let's just say he did do this. Putin, again, pulled the strings of this man so still pissed off that he lost. Don't want to admit 2020 he got his ass waxed. He over here pulling the strings on him. And what did he say to him? Oh, well, you won the 2020. And watch him perk up like a little baby. Oh, really? Oh my God, really? Tell me more. Tell me more. Oh yeah, you won 20. And you know what? This mid thing, you're gonna win that too. But you gotta get rid of, the mail-in ballots, man. You can't have mail-in ballots. You'll lose because it's crooked. It's it's not good. And this fool comes out. You know what? So what? He said something that was really, really good. He said that this thing about mail-in ballots is just not a good thing. Donald Trump said no other country has a mail-in ballots. Putin fought for mail-in ballots to happen in his country. So Putin has mail-in ballots. And Donald Trump came out and said, nobody has them. Because that dumbass listened to Putin tell him nobody has those. And he did no research. Think about this. This is the man leading our country. He doesn't even realize that Russia has mail-in ballots. And Putin is the one who suggested it. It's just crazy. You don't trust them to run shit. I hear you, Rude. You know what I'm saying? It's just it is what it is. I mean, be honest. I could be honest. You know, even if your woman is not necessarily book smart, she still plans way better than you. Better than you. And the only thing I can add that up to is that in a woman's life, they just gotta be honest about shit. I'm being 100% honest. In a woman's life, she has got to plan more just by being a woman, period. By the time you are 20 as a woman, do you know how much shit they gotta remember just to go every day? Dudes, come on now. We gotta remember to get so often buy underwear. You know, of course, you know, just taking care of yourself and stuff like that. How often do men, if it wasn't for women, men wouldn't be throwing on any kind of lotion or anything. You know, black people would because we get ashy, but they wouldn't put anything on for their eyes. They would have no kind of care whatsoever. Women have care on a regular day. That's astronomically more than men. They got to remember what makeup, what rouge, all that shit. I don't even remember the names of it, but they got to remember when and where, if it's going to go out, lipstick, what kind, all this shit. They got decisions on what to match with. I'm like, fool, I'm putting on a shirt, an undershirt. I'm putting on this, I'm putting on that, throw on a suit. I'm done. Same shoes, same socks. Or not the same socks that day, but the same color socks. Like 50 of the same ones almost. And it's on. You know what I'm saying? And being bald, you be like, you got to shave. But those are like, what, 6, 7 things? They do 6 or 7 things before getting out of bed. So please, spare me. Spare me. Women, I am not trying to diss my own people. I just got to tell the truth, are more effective and efficient than we are. The laziest woman works harder than us just to live, has to organize better than us just to live. Believe that. All right, let me get off of that. This is truth, though. Yeah, Putin, Dennis, gave Donald Trump advice on democracy. And this fool took it. And you know what? So Trip, he didn't even come out talking all about the meeting, how things are going on, any kind of, strategies that he wants to put out there to kind of force Putin's hand, to put in the news something that would kind of like leverage him and say, we had a good meeting, but, in 7 days, I'm going to hit him back up and we need to discuss plan 1, what we're going to do next. Plan 2, we plan on doing that. That should be done by September. So we got to get on it. So I'm expecting by the end of August 28th, that we should have that first thing in place. None of that. No presidential shit. You know what? He told me, that mail-in ballots are not good. And I'm like, the fuck? A dictator's telling you about democracy and you taking notes from it? Not even notes. This fool is going to get a executive order to do what Putin told him to do to our country. Why does Putin even need to come to this country? Just call up our idiot president and order up some dipshit stuff and he'll be able to do it. Do you want that with fries? The dude is stupid, y'all. Dude is stupid. He literally is trying to change our democracy based on a dictator telling him some kind of shit inside of a room for a few hours. If you guys got a chance to talk about this menial bullshit, what did you talk about that entire time toward the war shit? Why was the business people there? His business people came. Why? To make what deal with Donald Trump? To give him some kind of gift? What was that all about? Because this was about the war that they're trying to stop. What do we get out of this other than you want a Nobel Peace Prize? Why in the hell was he here? Because I don't believe he was here to do anything about what Zelensky or the Europeans want. I don't think he had anything to say. I think that was just a ruse to get all these other people to come in, and then Donald Trump is going to try and find out what he can do to get them to do whatever Putin's always wanted. So that he can use it as leverage and say, well, see, Putin came through with some stuff, and, you know, I think this is a better deal for y'all, even though he came up with nothing but the exact same thing that Putin's been asking for decades. And right now, what was he doing? While they were here, this fool was blowing up apartment buildings in Ukraine. Not while Putin was here, while Zelensky was here with the Europeans, they were bombing Ukraine. And here it is, Donald Trump's now saying he doesn't want. He said, we don't have to have a ceasefire, so they're just going to keep killing people while you guys make decisions. I don't know anything about diplomacy and all that. I really don't. But I hope I see the day that both of these fools die by natural causes. I hope I see that day. I hope I live that long. Because I don't know what God's got in store for any of us. But I can't wait to the day they don't wake up. I promise you I do. It is a straight dream. I would pray for it if it didn't seem like it was bad. But I would. I ain't got no problem with it. Because the amount of pain that these people are causing over being stupid, something has to end. Something has to end. And somebody's got to pray for it. Pastor, priest, somebody got to pay for this shit, pray for it. Because they ain't paying for it. They're just sitting out here just unaliving people and collecting checks. And I'm tired of the pussyfooting around. You know, oh, diplomacy, fuck diplomacy. These people are killing people that have no reason to be dying. These people need to either assassinate the people that are fucking with them, go ahead and go to war with them and just go balls out, and whoever wins, wins. But it's ridiculous that this country is allowed to continue to do what they're doing. Some country has got to get some balls. It's crazy to me how to all this shit that's going on, the only one that really has balls is Putin. Everybody else is afraid of Putin. This country, they don't have enough people in their country. If we all went to war, we'd take fucking Russia out. But no, they got the craziest like ideal. Oh, they got nuclear. You know how many countries got nuclear if we went toward them? A lot. But at some point in time, you got to get tired of this bullshit and fight. I don't want our kids to go to war, but I'm sick of people dying for no fucking reason. And all we do is go around chatting and getting money from each other. It's the dumbest thing ever. And there is no diplomacy. Whatever Putin wants, he's going to get. And that's going to be it. Because everybody else is going to bitch out. So watching these weak-ass leaders, it kills me. Just sitting around talking around a table while this dude fucks around with everybody and don't have to talk to nobody. The strongest person on the planet right now is Putin, because the rest of them straight bitch. How we do this? How we just carry the one? I said, this fool over here like, fuck y'all, I'm doing whatever I want. Bomb, 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 bomb. And y'all sitting around like, well, let's see, we pay more and give him some, we send him some weapons over here. And the fuck is all that? It's the weakest shit ever. Just get it over with already. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But you got kids dying. And you guys sitting over here talking about it and begging and pleading and coming over here kissing Donald Trump's little crusty ass, trying to get him to do what you want. Fuck him. Go do what you got to do. Man up, woman up. Go over there, get Putin's ass. Cut off the head of the snake and the shit's dying. You end it all when that fool's gone. These fucking tyrants get on my fucking nerves, and everybody's so fucking wussy talking. I'm gonna go talk at a table. The fuck y'all doing? Why y'all so scared of this dude? Dude, 5 foot nothing. There's only two things that happen in life: life and death. We all going at some point. So you holding on to some shit while this bully's fucking with you? End it already. End it already. That's my 2 cents on it. End it already. Ain't nobody, China, what are they going to do? You think they're really going to, oh, let's go help Putin? No, they ain't putting no boots on the ground to fight Ukraine. They ain't getting into that. They want their money. Getting into some crazy war over Putin's ass shit. They'll keep on moving. People just going to want to conquer Russia. That's all. I want this piece of land. I want a piece. That's all that's going to happen. But these people are so weak, so scared of a little gnome. They can't even walk. He decrepit. You see him walking in pain and shit. Yeah, butt bone hurt. God damn. Let's go over here and shake his hand real quick. You saw him? Look at him. Go back and watch that video. He trying to be all cool, but he limping his ass off, trying to keep. I bet he got on one shoe bigger than the other just so you won't see how really bad it is. Check him out. His days are numbered. His days are numbered. But they ain't gonna do nothing because they straight punk. Straight punk. That's all it is. I kept this little video, a poster up of Trump and a puppet because that's what I want people to understand. He's a puppet. That warm feeling he's got is Putin's hand up his ass. That's the warm feeling he's feeling. Controlling them. All right, enough of this fool. Y'all hear Dan Bongino? Let me get you guys' voices up here. Dan Bongino, I haven't, not unless something recently happened, he hasn't gotten fired. But what he has got is a co-deputy director of FBI, whatever it is. And basically, all that really means is that, excuse me, for me, what I think it really means, I think he's getting replaced. But Donald Trump, this is my perspective on this thing, right? Remember Donald Trump, his first time as president, he couldn't keep people working for him. They were jumping ship left and right. They come in for 6 months and quit. Or he come in for 6 months, he fire him. Because, excuse me, he was all the best people. And then all of a sudden, he just sucked. And everybody's talking about, dude, you never kept anybody. You didn't even fill all positions while you were president. It was just sad. So this time around, he brought all his sycophants around. What does it look like when your strongest sycophants are jumping ship? It makes it look like all these people who are their fans don't want to fuck with you no more. How you get rid of a man that's been looking this entire time for the Epstein files like we've been wanting him? How you gonna get rid of him, Trump? I thought he was like, he didn't do anything wrong. All he wanted was the Epstein files, and he wanted them to go forward. And here you are talking shit about him. How's that? So if Dan Bongino goes, so does his fandom to some degree. Because if he came out and started talking, because y'all know something. Look, just like anything else, when they say follow the money, follow the facts. Follow how shit happened. Dan Bongino left and didn't come to work. Who don't come to work and still got a job? Any of y'all decide, I'm mad at my boss or I'm mad at somebody that's at my job, I ain't coming in. I'm out. I come in when I come in. You do that, you fired. Was he fired? No. Easily Donald Trump would have fired him back in the day, but he can't do that now. Donald Trump can't be the fired Donald Trump when it comes to the sycophants he already has in his office because he brought in these non-qualified fucks to begin with. So he brought in people who were podcasters and news people that people fell in love with. He can't fire them simply because what happens? They know too much about the crap he's got going on, the entire grift and all that. he gets sour with them. Remember, these are some vengeful little fucks. They've been all out here talking mad shit. Before, he had Republicans that were really like conservative, like politicians. These are sycophants. These are vindictive people. So for him to let them go, oh, they on a tour. They going everywhere, talking to everybody. They on every podcast that has a problem now with such and such. And it's going to be hard to sully these people because they got a following that loves them. And they're going to say, what actually happened since Donald Trump won't put it out? What happened? And this man has already seen the files, and you know it. Dan Bongino saw the files and was pissed off at the fact before the end of the whole thing that Pam Bondi said that she was going to release him. Then out of nowhere didn't. He blamed her for it. And see, now with him knowing what's in them, you think they're going to fuck him over? Not easy to do that. You got to keep him close. Because if he rats out anything, he leaks anything, they're toast. Because their people are going to trust him, at least his group of people that followed him. All he had to do is keep talking that same shit that he said he believed in. I love Trump and all this and stuff, but his names are in the files. I saw him, and it was this, that, and the third. There's actual pictures with him with little girls and stuff of this nature. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All he has to do is do that, and Trump and everybody else is sunk. So what are they doing? They bringing in this Andrew Bailey dude. Some attorney general from some other state, Missouri, I believe. Yeah. They're bringing him in. And he's like a big time, like, Trump sycophant. And that's why they're bringing him in. I think, personally, is damage control. You're trying to bring in another sycophant that hasn't seen the files. And in this time frame, now they're going to have somebody in there doing the work. It's either one or two things. Bongino is getting what he wants and still getting a paycheck by meaning this dude does all the work. I get all the accolades as well. And I don't have to go in front of no camera. You got that fool doing it because I'm not coming out there and lying to my people. I'm not coming out there and get caught up in your lies. Instead of me ratting you out, I'm just going to shut the fuck up. He going to do all the work. He going to get blamed for it all. I ain't getting blamed for none of it. And in return, I continue to get my money. He does the work. I can go hang out with my wife whenever I want. I can come to work whenever the fuck I want. I don't need to know everything. Just keep me on the roster, and I'm good. I ain't going to say nothing. Just collect my check and let this fool do all the work. It's either leverage like that or Donald Trump is edging him out little by little. It's only like one or two things. It can't be a lot. The reason why? Because you got to go back in history. When in history have they ever had a co-deputy director of FBI? When has it ever happened? It is a one-person job. It has never happened in the history of America. Now, that position wasn't filled for many years, like something like in the late 70s up to the 90s or 80s or whatever. The 70s and 80s, something like that. They didn't have a position. It was just, the head of the FBI. Didn't have a deputy director of FBI. The head of the FBI was running the FBI. This deputy director is the one who's doing the day-to-day basis or day-to-day running of it. That's what's going on now. But for years, they didn't have that position in the 70s and 80s. But as far as anybody ever having this position in the history of one person, there's never been a two-person position here. It's only this time. So that tells you if it's out of the ordinary where it's never been done, something's the fuck up. That's just 100%. What's up, Brooklyn Godfather? That's 100%. That's what that's all about. So what does it mean? We don't know. Hopefully it'll come out some more stuff, but we do know Dan Bongino knows something. Because if he didn't, he wouldn't have been able to say, I'm not coming into work. And didn't have. And then here's the thing. He got no smoke for it. The media found out he didn't come to work. There was absolutely no smoke from the MAGA about Dan Bongino whatsoever. They didn't bring up no dust. They didn't call him a traitor. Donald Trump didn't call him anything out of his name. He would have called him slow, lackluster, should have never hired him, low energy, something. He said Nathan. Tells you something right there that he can't say something. He feels limited some way that he can't give this dude a name and kick him out. Because they probably don't know what he knows. But his fans should be pissed off at him because he knows some shit and he ain't sharing nothing. He don't have to share the exact facts. All he got to do is say, I've seen him and Donald Trump's all within them. And in my personal opinion, he's guilty. My personal opinion is shady. Something ain't right with it. But, you know, him and old boy was real cool. I seen photos that, just like Michael Wolff is doing. He said he saw a photo that, and that video, that photo still got to be, the government's got to have it now. Because there was a photo, Michael Wolff said, that Jeffrey Epstein had in some drawer or another while he was interviewing him. And he broke it out just to show it to Michael Wolff. And in it, Donald Trump was surrounded by little girls, and his pants was wet. Had a stain in his pants, and they were all pointing at it and laughing. That's some very detailed shit for a reporter, a writer to do an interview with somebody, and he just made that shit up? Nah. So Donald Trump, somewhere there's a photo out there with Donald Trump and little girls pointing at his little private parts where his pants has a little wet spot, laughing. And at the time, Jeffrey Epstein owned it and showed it around. If you think he showed it to a guy that was writing books and shit, that did not promise he wouldn't tell nobody. Not that I know of. I didn't hear that. I don't know if he signed anything. Maybe till his death he can say something. That's why he's saying something now. I don't know. But that fact I don't have. But to show it to somebody as you know that writes shit and tells people shit for a living, that's how he makes his money, means you meant that shit to come out at some point in time. You don't show that to just anybody. You got that picture because that picture was evidence that whatever Donald Trump was doing, you were showing, I got more. This is just one. Why else would you take that picture and hold on to it? Unless you was using it against Trump or planned on using it against Trump. So in his house, he's going to show you that video, that photo. He's going to show it to you. A member of the press, or at least the member of writing like historical books and shit like that, salacious type books about life and, you know, exposing secrets. You're going to show that guy interviewing you that photo? You know this fool showed other people that he knew would keep secrets. You know he did that. You just don't show it to one dude and have it in your drawer and not show it to other people. Look what I got on Trump. Look what I got on Trump. You know he did it because he had shit on everybody else. But I ain't going to tell nobody. That's how I keep secrets. That's how he made his money. And he knew Donald Trump didn't have any money because Donald Trump was in on this game with him. He knew Donald Trump's finances. He was the big dog. Donald Trump was the little fish. But, yeah, I mean, I think Donald Trump learned because I don't think Jeffrey Epstein realized what kind of deviousness that the Trumps are. He opened himself up a little too wide to Donald Trump, not realizing that that's a piece of shit human, and that person will fuck you over in a heartbeat. And that's why he ended up getting arrested. Donald Trump ratted him out. At least that's what he believed before he died. But just so you know, those things you can go all look up, all that's factual. All those things that, you know, that was said is fact that I got it, but it's a situation where he said he saw it. So if Michael Wolff saw that in a drawer at Jeffrey Epstein's house, I doubt he had time to hide it when he got arrested and unalived himself or got unalived. So that means the government has that photo. They need to be asking, have you seen that photo? Can we see these photos? See, they're supposed to release all these photos to the House. But guess what? Recently they said, well, it's supposed to be today. They're supposed to be turning it in. Today was the deadline. They pushed that shit last night during my show. till Friday, they say. But if you already had 1,000 people go through it, FBI, whomever it was, go through it for 24 hours or so a day to find Donald Trump's name in it. You got all those people. It must have had a lot of his name must have been all over that shit. You need all those people to figure it out. So all that staff to find his name, that means Donald Trump is in this thing a lot. A lot. And so with his name being all over this thing, and he thought he had fucked over Jeffrey Epstein, not realizing that Epstein fucked him in documents, in photos. Which makes me personally believe, not fact, that he didn't kill himself. He was unalive because of all the information he had. That's the way I look at it. I could be wrong, but I don't think he did it. I mean, just all the stuff that he was doing, all the secrets that he was keeping, none of these billionaires wanted that to happen. They had way too much to lose. And I doubt he would let them all out of their responsibility. He'd been holding on to this information all these years, never letting out anybody's information. And once he gets caught, you're going to tell me he didn't use nothing? He just say, you know what? I'm a dead man if I release it. I'm a dead man if I don't. Maybe he took his life that way. I don't know. Because he had to know that inside prison, somebody was going to try and take him out because he was doing with little girls. So that could have been a thing, but I just don't believe it. I believe somebody did it because, again, it's just strange that you have got a high-profile guy in your prisons and you put him in an area where you know for years that the cameras have been out. Oh, the cameras are always out in that area, so why would you put him there? He's on high alert. You got a billionaire in the spot. A billionaire chilling in your jail. That don't mean he's going to always be there. He could totally become free. And you treated him like that? Nah. Mm-mm. That's highly unbelievable that you had a billionaire in your prison. And in this country, money talks. You going to tell me? Hell, you got people who were rich that went to jail for certain things and like, man, prison was like, I got like the best piece of meat. I got this, that, and the other. All these different rich people who had just millions, not billions, had millions, got treated with all this respect inside of prison after unaliving people, raping people, and all this other shit. They got treated, the rich ones got treated like with the white glove. Because they knew doing something to that person, everybody named Mama would know about it. And then you're just going to leave the billionaire in a room by himself and tell you first released that he was on suicide watch. But then don't take everything that he could kill himself out of the room. I mean, this shit just doesn't add up, y'all. It just doesn't add up. As you start to pay attention to it more, it doesn't seem to add up. And you got Bill Barr under, his interview or whatever you want to call that. He's saying things that Democrats are saying that are open up doors to other things, which makes sense. But at the same time, this man said that they cleared like Donald Trump or whatever at the time. I'm like, why would you need to clear him? He wasn't even brought up as being a part of this back then or even anything like that. It's like, oh, and then Jim Comer said Donald Trump never said anything about this to me ever, blah, blah, blah. So that was contradictory. I mean, why would he try to clear Donald Trump if Donald Trump was never really a part of the investigation before, didn't have anything to do with it? So that needs to be dug in a little bit deeper. Maybe there's some context missing in that, but that still needs to be something. These things need to be public. I don't know why they're doing behind the scenes. Because again, they're not discussing the actual case. They're discussing pieces of what he knew about it. You know, maybe some of it needs to be, I don't know if they were going to have the files. But then again, when they did it for Joe Biden, well, it wasn't Joe Biden, it was for his son. When they did it for him, they redacted everything and still had it out in the open for us to see. And didn't ask questions of these people whom were shady to begin with. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. It just seems like, again, if I am not guilty of something, I want that shit out there. Because I can prove I ain't had nothing to do with it. I'm like, yo, I went there a couple times, got a few drinks, chilled. That was it. Nothing had me in it. Now, me and him was cool, but I didn't know what he was doing. Not at all. But that ain't Trump. He can't say that. That's why he's scared of this shit. Donald Trump is running away from this 1,000%. Running away from it. And MAGA, not all of them, but a healthy amount of them, want to know why. The longer he holds off, the more Democrats, independents, liberal, whatever you are, you need to be pressing it. Because the more you press it, you're the moral one. You're the one that's really trying to find out the information. And the Republicans were always talking shit about Dems don't want it. They don't care because it's a bunch of Democrats in there. It's like, no, we've always wanted it. We just weren't as loud as you guys were about it. Because you guys thought there was just Democrats behind it. We wanted the evidence to come out whether it's Democrat or Republican, period. But we were trying to stop your guy from coming into the White House. So we was focused on him in Project 2025 more. Now that that's already come to fruition, we got energy for this full on. And that's where everybody should be. Protecting our children. If we got billionaires out here that can do whatever to our kids, your kid could be next. Because you think this shit just stopped? Nah. There's going to be some girl, somebody within this group that's in these files that they're not seeking. Somebody within that group is going to rape a girl tonight. Think they aren't? They was doing it all these years. That's their proclivity. That's what they love to do. They're willing to spend money to do it, give this guy millions of dollars, and still continue to do this. It's not something they can quit. To put that much money behind it, to make this man a billionaire from doing that, you think they just stopped? No, they went to safer ground. They're doing it probably in their homes. They're probably traveling to other countries and doing it where it's almost legal, or better yet, hidden. These people do not stop. It is a part of who they are. And if they're not exposed, a child tonight, a child tomorrow night, a child the night after that, as we bullshit around, there are still children at this point just praying that you guys would find out who the fuck these people are. And instead of that, we're sitting here with a president that says he's not a pedo, but is doing nothing to protect them. Doing everything to say that they're liberals and Democrats. The people who are victims, he's talking shit about. Who talks shit about victims? None of them were blaming him. Well, one or two said that he knew about it. But the other one, Katie, I don't even know if she's around anymore. I haven't seen her as an adult come out, but I know on the document, she was the one that got raped by him and Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, that she said in her document. But all the rest of them, they didn't accuse him of rape or anything like that. And many of them didn't even accuse him. They accused Jeffrey Epstein. And he's saying all of them are just liberals and a woke part of woke. And I'm like, so now you're not even for finding the people who harmed these people, yet that was a thing that you guys ran on. All right. That to me is off. I don't get it. I gotta go see. It'll probably come on again later on tonight. Mastermind Vibe, Lawrence O'Donnell. Yeah, I gotta go check that out. But yeah, so that is a thing. You know, I look at that, there's something up with that. If you're not trying to find them or release anything about these people, something's shady about you. You're worried about something. And MAGA, you should be worried that the guy that you knew raped people because he got charged with it and got, 80 something $1 million worth of money he got to pay because he did it. And then all these other crimes that he did, that you were just so gung-ho on hating the libs that you couldn't see in front of you, was one of the worst criminals to ever walk the face of the earth. And somehow you thought he was powerful. But Putin got him on a string. Not that powerful whatsoever. Mm-mm. Just not. So we covered that. Dan Bongino is out there. Dan Bongino, where you at, bro? Where you at? I thought you was all super hard, about trying to find out about these people. You asked all those questions, bro. You had all that energy about this, that, and the third. And now it seems you have allowed Donald Trump to hide these things. You haven't even come forward and said, we need to get these documents out. You haven't went to any news place or anything of that nature. You haven't got in front of a podium at the White House or the FBI or wherever the hell the FBI where you're at. You haven't held any kind of conversation whatsoever. You haven't got on your podcast. You haven't said nothing. Mom is the word. We ain't asking you to give out no actual like files and shit like that. But to tell people that we're going to get these files out to reassure them, you can't do that because they hiding them. So I want to know, his fans, how can you follow somebody that was giving you all this smoke, that he was going to do something when he got in on day one? And on day one, they went on their little sorry ass tour looking like somebody stole their lunch money. Yeah, he killed himself. You sure? I wish I could tell you something else, but he killed himself. I saw all the footage. And then the footage comes out. Where's the footage at, bruh? You saw all the footage? We did too. 11 hours of the wrong fucking cell. And on top of that, the cell, the area in which you go into, where there's a shit ton of cells, not just his, that lead door that you go down that corridor, somebody went in there. So you don't know if they went to a cell or not. But he was put into a cell, whereas the cameras were out, while the man was on suicide watch. And then it's crazy in some circumstances too. The cameras are out. That's one, not one, two cameras in that area out. Couldn't show nothing. Those are gone. All right. In the cell in which he was in, he was on a suicide watch. You still left his covers and blankets in that bitch, knowing there was a ways to choke yourself. That was still left in there. You had not one but two guards. Both of them fall asleep. They both shirked their job, knowing that the person inside could kill himself at any moment. Both of them, not on their post. One of them said they fell asleep. I can't tell. I don't remember exactly what the second one said. You got two. And we know the entire jail wasn't run by two people. That was just that particular wing area that they had two people that weren't doing their jobs. You know the coincidence of two people at the same time not doing their fucking job? Two cameras out at the same time, and clothing and shit that he can hang himself with left in the cell that you said that he was on suicide watch. That shit don't add up. And if it did add up, those guards, that prison should be sued for negligence. Because is this how you take care of people who have medical issues? Then you need to be sued by somebody. I don't know if he had any relatives. You need to be sued. Because that was just horrible. Not that I wanted this man to live. It's just the fact that you didn't do your job. Anybody who goes through that should have a right to sue you because you didn't do your job. You were notified. You had all these fail safes, and somehow all of them fell down at once. That's the coincidence that does make this seem like he was unalive more so than he killed himself. Because him wanting to do that, he must have been the luckiest man in the world to get all that privacy to do what he wanted to do. or you guys were crooked. Then you got Elaine. Is it Elaine? Yeah. Oh, no, Elise. Elise Stefanik. Man, this she got booed up, y'all. Booed up? She got booed up. Big time. She got so booed, she got booed off the stage. And then she let everybody else speak, and then she tried to come back again and speak. But she got booed off the stage, yo. And here's the thing, it wasn't even a town hall. It wasn't even a town hall. She was at a memorial for somebody. They booed her at a time they're supposed to be celebrating somebody else's life who would pass away. You know how much hate you got to have for a person to literally just, I know he dead, but fuck her. You know how bad it's got to be that at somebody's memorial, you like, he dead, fuck him. Fuck her, I want her to know right now. Right now, I can't stand her. And a group of people did that. I mean, I couldn't do nothing but laugh. I was like, man, that's messed up. But watch the people in the back. You know, it's like, it's sad.
Now it is my great honor to introduce to you our Congresswoman from New York 21, Elise Stefanik.
It's sad. Boot up. Boot up.
Thank you, Mark, for that kind introduction.
A sustained boot. Traitor. And they said all that.
It is truly humbling to be here to commemorate and honor the great John Zerlo.
Sad. John Zerlo didn't deserve this.
You know, I'm going to turn this back to you, Mark. This crowd is not being respectful. John Zerlo is deeply respectful. I'm going to turn it back to you.
She had to bounce, yo. I would turn back. I'm going to blame it on them that they not being respectful. Why would they be respectful? I mean, again, they had a visceral reaction to you. Had they not included you, everything would have been fine. Because right after she left and went off the side of the stage and the other guy came back up, they started whistling. They was all happy. So had you not shown your little sycophant ass, I could say sycophant ass there, they would have never booed. You were one that's being disrespectful for being there. You knew those people didn't like you. The moment they started booing, you should have said, I'm out. I'm out. I ain't going to go up here on the stage. Why would I go on the stage? This is respecting his life, but you still want to get up and say your 2 cents. You should have phoned it in. If you go back, if you go and look, I watched a bunch of clips on this, trying to get some more depth to it. Like what was going on, because you know how they go. They say it was the Democrats that came and it was all angry Democrats. And you go and look at it. No, there's Republicans. So many of them are Republicans. I'm sure there's Democrats there, but there's Republicans. But their thing was she hasn't held any town halls. And like the time that she's been there, she hasn't had that many at all. But this one, a few shots or sound on tape, interviews that people had on camera at this function. They asked them, things like that. And this one lady said she hasn't been to a town hall. She hasn't been in her office. When you call her, they don't respond. It's like nobody's there. Of course they're pissed off because they want answers. You needed these people to get into office, and now you won't answer them. I mean, do you want your job or not? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. You're not answering the people who put you in office. I mean, something's wrong with politicians today that they don't care about the constituents, or they never did. And now that Donald Trump is president, it allows them to say, I never gave a fuck about y'all anyway. And ain't shit you can do about it. So when I run again, you're going to be going against somebody that you probably ain't going to like, and you'll forget because you're stupid like that. Because I can manipulate the way you think. All I got to do is say somebody else is bad, I'm good, and I got Republican, conservative views, and they got liberal views, and you'll return back to stupidity like you did with Donald Trump. And she's right. And she's right. So she came and got booed. And I was like, I had to have a whole clip of them going on the all booed up tour. So many Republicans in August have gotten booed the fuck up, yo. I think this one started like August 8th. I'm not 100% the date, but we've seen some of it, Mike Flood and others. But we got a compilation of the all booed up tour.
We've had this conversation before.
Also, quit scooping up people off the street and out of their jobs.
You are not helping because you're letting Donald Trump do what he wants to you and to us.
Why are you covering up the Epstein files?
It's interesting, the Epstein situation was not an issue during the Biden administration.
Who's responsible for establishing tariffs in our country?
Well, right now the president has taken that authority, but I imagine when we go back in September, we'll be talking.
Right now, the president has taken that authority. But when we go back, Trick, you had this entire time. It's 8 months into this thing. But right now he has it. Like he gonna give it back up. And like you guys got a spine to take it back. He should have never had it. Day one, you should have said, President, let us do our work. You know, we're going to pretty much vote your way, but we have to do democracy the right way. And we'll go through us. We're the majority. We'll get it passed. But let's keep this a democracy, because if you don't, our people are going to be pissed off. We ain't going to get elected again. So let us do our work. Nope, they ain't got no backbone, no balls, none of that. They just sat there and just let this man run them over with a bunch of executive orders. They couldn't lead before. When Biden was president and they had the Senate, the House, at least the House, they couldn't manage shit. That entire time where they were head of the House, when Joe Biden was the president, they did nothing. It was the worst House in American history. They didn't pass hardly anything compared to the others. The other ones were passing hundreds of bills and shit. These people, I don't even think got 100 the entire years they were in there. They just having these useless investigations, spending millions of dollars on nonsense. And like Dem said, it was going to end in a dead end because there's no facts. Exactly that. When before Donald Trump won, it was around that time, it disappeared because they had nothing left. They looked like complete boo-boo to fools. But the thing is, these people have no shame. They don't care what you think. They do what they want, and what you gonna do about it? They steamroll Americans while saying they're patriots, or continue to have this country just devolve into a dictatorship. And we pretty much there. We really are allowing Donald Trump to do the things he does just by saying it. Exactly. Look at Mastermind Vice. He said, if Republicans withdraw the maps, I would buy a tiny home in that district. I only have to buy a home. I'll rent some spot. Rent a hole somewhere. Like, yeah, let me rent out your garage real quick. All right, cool. Put a half on it. Whatever your address is, put a half on it. All right, cool. Then I'm going to vote there. That'd be good, Mastermind Vibes. They're going to play games. Americans need to play games as well. They play checkers. We're going to play chess. But yeah, they got all booed up, y'all. It was so hilarious to me. I just couldn't help myself looking at that earlier today. There was so much, some of those like happened earlier in the month, but they've been on this break. The fact that their town halls are getting worse and worse and worse. And I don't care whether they always say stuff like it's Democrats, it's not Republicans. when it's actually mostly a Republican place. Like one town that we're in, it was like all Republicans there. And they was booing and shit, and they were like, it's just Democrats. I'm like, really? In the area that's like 97% Republican, you got Democrats that showed up to your, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can keep on believing that. And I'm like, keep on believing it. Because what's going to happen is your Republicans are going to be like, you guys never listened to us, and you're going to lose. Why would they want to care about you is every time they come out? Because they'll interview some of them, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm a Republican. Oh, I voted for Trump both times. I won't do it again. You see a lot of those people popping up, and they're ignoring them. I'm like, keep ignoring them. Dems, keep going to Republican-led areas or leaning areas and listening to these people and just saying you're going to fulfill what they need. If they say they need something, a bridge in their neighborhood, vote for us and we'll get you that bridge. Just keep on giving them promises. That's all Donald Trump does. He lies, though. Give them a promise that you'll help get that bridge built and build that bitch, and then you'll probably be stuck in office for a while. I say stuck because you got to deal with those dipshits, not me. All right. Exactly. So those are the topics of the day that, that got to me the most. I'm trying my best to get these shows, wrap them up a little bit earlier. We're trying to get a lot done. I got some things going on, working on the positive show, you know what I'm saying? Focusing on, being an avid solutionist, working on some solutions. A few people have reached out to me and I've helped them create solutions. So I might be covering them, depends. But I really want to have that moment where we show, started maybe even a network that I continue to have in this show, but to have other shows that show my creativity and also my love of people and change. And we always got to blow off steam just as long as we don't live in that area. I know we don't all do it. We all just want to get stuff off our chest and then live a productive life. So I give it off my chest. I feel a little better about it, that I talk shit about these lame ass people and then go back to fighting the best way I know how. Just working on a lot of things. You can always, support your boy. You know how that happens. But, no matter what, I'm going to come back and show up regardless. But that's how we do. So I know it gets late for some there on the East Coast. I appreciate you sticking around. We'll give love to everybody here, my subscribers, my followers who are on different other platforms that come over here. I appreciate you. I see you, Mastermind Vibe. I see Rude Interplanet Janet. As always, appreciate you being here. Mark D, always a pleasure, brother. I'm gonna get back to my Saturday meetings, man. I've been working my butt off, burning the candle. I was telling my friend, I said, I ain't even burning the candle on both ends of the stick. I'm just working with the wick right now. I ain't even got no more wax. You know what I'm saying? I'm just wicking it. But I gotta get back to, taking care of myself. So we gotta keep doing that. I see you, Brooklyn Godfather. Rude in the Planet Janet. Dennis Petro, appreciate you. Just Listen podcast with Walt, appreciate you, brother. Who else we got in here? I see you, Vera. April Smith, welcome. Just an example of how a real idiot operates at the highest level of ignorance. Tell him, April. Speak. We have to deal with that stuff. I see you, Chuck. We got to deal with that stuff and somehow, get through our day. But you got to blow off that steam so you can continue doing what you do, or you be perpetually pissed off. What's up, B Money? And I don't want to be perpetually pissed off. So once I get finished getting it out, I go to solutions. You know what I'm saying? And it gives me a better understanding. But you got to go through this whole process and pay attention to the facts of the day, because again, the facts are the only thing that matters. Our feelings come later. As long as you got feelings about facts, we got it. We can agree to disagree. But if I'm dealing with feelings, I'm dealing with facts, and all you're doing with feelings, and your feelings are based on lies, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Nobody wants to hear that. Fuck your feelings. Nobody wants to hear that. We only care about your feelings when we're both talking about facts. We both on that same plane. So when we both can understand facts, and look, like I said, iron sharpens iron. If I have some facts that may be off or skewed or may have a slant because I didn't do my homework, I try my damnedest to do it, but I'm human. I have no problem with people automatically coming in and saying, this is that. And I'm like, I look it up 100%. I was wrong. That's how we have to do. Can't be like, not having a sense of where we can agree to disagree on some things and admit that we're wrong on others, right? That's how we move forward. So that's what I love doing with this whole process, is being able to educate, have a good time doing it, and then, be respectful. But after, I light into your ass. That I enjoy that, because not into yours, but into theirs, because I can't stand liars. I'm telling you with all my heart, I can't stand somebody who just look at you in your face and just lie their ass off. I take that to heart. To me, that's just as bad as if you shot me or whatever, because if you're going to send me off with some fake information that could get me harmed or could make me look stupid, you don't care about me. In that part, if you don't care about me, fuck you. So the only reason you care about somebody, you give them truth. Would you tell your child a lie on their way out to school so that they'd be ill prepared instead of being well prepared? No, you wouldn't. So I think of all of us. We're whatever you believe in, that higher power, whatever you call it, I call it God's children. You don't send God's children out not being well prepared. And that's what I try to do, is send us all out well prepared with knowledge and wisdom, facts, and I receive it from y'all too. I read everything you're saying and I learn from it, go back and check it out myself, so we can all stay on that same plane of factual information. And that way it's a healthier relationship. There's no reason to lie to me. I can accept anything. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to say I got to agree with it, but I can take it in and be like, oh, okay, I agree, or agree to disagree, or I just take it in and learn it and be like, all right, let me find something I haven't known about before. And I appreciate that, because anybody taking time to make you more smart or more educated cares about you, because they don't want you going out making mistakes based off information they gave you. That's what they're supposed to be about. So I appreciate all y'all. Y'all have a good night. Y'all be safe. All right. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Same time, same bad channel, as always. I love y'all. I'll see you when I see you.